Good afternoon, Chair.
Afternoon, Mr. Nodada.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, when you are ready, you can start the meeting. The majority of members are on the platform. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Nodada, and a very good morning to honorable members on the platform, all the colleagues on the platform, the support staff of the committee. I know this is an unusual time, especially for members of the committee, to have a committee meeting around 12 o'clock midday. But I just want to apologize if it's an inconvenience on your side, but we have to do what we have to do. Today's meeting, colleagues, is not going to be long. We will be considering, tabling and considering the negotiating mandates of the Division of Revenue. And I would like to seek guidance from members on how to approach it, because we have the negotiating mandates are coming with the reports from various provinces, and those reports have been forwarded to the National Treasury, of which the National Treasury have confirmed receiving those reports from provinces, and they are working on coming and responding to those reports on Thursday meeting. So it will be up to an individual member from a certain province or from any province, whether you would like your negotiating mandate to be flagged on the screen together with your report, or if you think the report is safe with the National Treasury, there's no need for you to share it with the committee. That's still okay, because we'll be dealing with the responses for your different submissions from provinces on the report made by provinces on the Division of Revenue. So, colleagues, may I just get a guidance from your good selves on how to approach this? I want us to have a uniform approach. But my view was that if you have recommendations, if you want to go to the report, do not go word by word. Just maybe summarize the submission from your province and maybe go to the recommendations if you have any recommendations which the committee needs to consider. But the report is mainly meant for the National Treasury, who will be responding to them on on Thursday. I'm sorry for that. Can I get an indication, colleagues, that I see Honorable Khadebe, Honorable Ndlovu, and Honorable Swart will be the last. Honorable Khadebe.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good afternoon, all colleagues and support staff from the side of the committee and the various provinces. Chairperson, I think that the correct approach will be that today let us put on record the negotiating mandates which are coming from the various provinces or portfolio committees. But what I request is that, because when the Dora Amendment Bill is going to be tabled in the House on the 17th, the provinces are going to be given a chance to make declarations. I think that if you can just do it there, Chair, it will be better. It will be better than do it now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Khadebe, House Chair. Honorable Ndlovu. Honorable Swart.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and good morning and afternoon to each and everyone. Yeah, thank you. I also thought you don't have to be a long meeting. I think the mandates were forwarded, and I think we are all in agreement that we all support. But I just want to share the recommendations with the team. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Swart. Honorable Siwisa.
No, thank you, Chair. Greetings to colleagues, staff members, and any other person that's on the platform. No, Chair, I would also recommend that let's go to the recommendation, because at the end of the day, any other points that substantiate the mandate will be debated in the House. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think there's a general agreement, but where a member feels that the recommendations were submitted in writing, no need for you to submit those recommendations once again. All you need to do is just to record the negotiating mandate from your province. Having said that, colleagues, a very good morning once again, or an afternoon to your good selves once again. We're going to go to apologies. Do we have any apologies, Mr. Nodada?
Thank you, Chairperson. Good afternoon, Chairperson. Good afternoon, honorable members and colleagues. Chairperson, we have got a few apologies. We received an apology from the Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Sarupan. We also received an apology from DG of National Treasury, Dr. Peterson. We received an apology from Gauteng Portfolio Committee on Finance Chairperson, Honorable Mosai. And the last apology that we received is from Honorable Kwinana from the Northern Cape. Thank you, Chairperson. Those are the few apologies, Chairperson. We have the full complement of the committee on the platform. Thank you, Chair. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nodada. And colleagues, remember last week there are minutes that we said we will consider in this meeting. Therefore, I'll go straight to the first province to give us the negotiating mandate on the division of revenue, which is the Eastern Cape. Honorable Brett.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning, honorable members, and good morning, everybody on the platform. The legislator of the Eastern Cape supports the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, and I am mandated in the NCOP to vote in favour of the bill, but within the following parameters. And I'm going to set out the parameters in terms of my mandate. The 2025 Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, same as the Division of Revenue Act, allocates 9.6% of national raised revenue to the local government sphere. The Eastern Cape Province recommends that the Division of Revenue Bill we should include an increase to allocations to the local sphere of government going forward. As submitted during the process of the Division of Revenue Bill 2025, the original white paper during the inception of the local government framework assumed own funding at 10% at a 90-10 principle. The current allocation still falls below 10%, notwithstanding the current developments in the local government sphere. B, the Eastern Cape Province further recommends that the salaries of traditional leaders should be funded through a conditional grant with specific conditions for the process to be followed when traditional leaders are recognized. In the previous Division of Revenue Bill submissions, the National Treasury submitted that relevant IGR forums and structures remain the relevant platform to discuss issues related to funding traditional leaders. And in the Division of Revenue Bill of 2025, National Treasury responded that this issue will be referred to the National Department of Traditional Affairs. The Eastern Cape Province would also request that the relevant departments be part of discussions at the technical level, which may serve as a structure to advise the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Kohta. The third recommendation is with respect to the Provincial Equitable Formula and Eastern Cape Provincial Treasury submissions. National Treasury should make the PES formula calculations available to provinces for purposes of transparency and validation of funds allocated to provinces. Provinces should be part of the process of validating and testing the PES formula for accuracy across provinces. For example, the population of the Eastern Cape increased by 553,000 according to the 2022 census. But this increase was not reflected in provincial equitable share due to the exclusion of census data in the 2024 and 2025 medium-term expenditure framework. Consequently, the province does not benefit from this population growth and continues to be at a disadvantage because it relies on lower population estimates from the mid-year population estimates. And then lastly, the province is also registering that the Provincial Transport Operation Grant is not funding Mayibuye. Now, that is a state bus company, and AB 350, as the grant only subsidizes the Algoa bus company. Mayibuye and AB 350 bus companies are funded through the provincial equitable share in response to the demand for transport services by citizens in both urban and rural areas. The province therefore requests that the provincial transport operation grant be extended to the Mayibuye and the A350 bus corporations. And then lastly, Honourable Chair and members, the Eastern Cape province is largely a rural province, and that is characterized by large distances between towns and cities, as well as the lack of adequate roads, bridges, and schools. This province therefore funds the provision of scholar transport from the PES allocation to ensure that learners, those that reside more than 5 kilometers from a school, that they can travel to schools. Note that the provision of education is a concurrent function and scholar transport is a key enabler that provides access to schools. Therefore, as the Eastern Cape province, we are recommending to the committee and to Treasury that funding mechanisms be identified to ensure that scholar transport is adequately funded, either through a conditional grant or additional to the PES formula. Thank you, Honourable Chair. I hereby table my mandate. The Eastern Cape report is also available, and I also table that for Treasury to respond to. Thank you very much, Honourable Chair.
Both the report and the negotiating mandate of the Eastern Cape has been considered. Can I now call in Honourable Radebe to kindly give us the negotiating mandate on behalf of his province?
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. On the side of my province, the only report which is coming from the Portfolio Committee of Public Accounts and Finance, and then the legislature is going to sit on Thursday morning. Is then that the negotiating mandate is going to be finalized. But with what has transpired on the side of the public hearings, the committee itself is in support that the legislature must vote in favor of the DORA amendment bill. But I cannot commit the legislature before it has met and taken its decision. Thank you, Chair.
Negotiating mandate considered for the Free State. Let me welcome Honourable Ryder to give us the negotiating mandate of Gauteng.
Morning, Chairperson, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I presented to the Gauteng Committee on Friday. They've subsequently had their deliberations. The committee has cautiously voiced their support for the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill. However, they've also flagged 3 recommendations that they have requested me to highlight to the committee. I will summarize them instead of reading them word for word, Chairperson. The first one says that National Treasury should ensure that there's a comprehensive review of the data update methodology to ensure smoother transitions in future MTF periods. And I think this relates to the fact that Stats South Africa and the methodology used in terms of determining provincial equitable share needs to be a little bit more predictable in order to ensure that multi-year projects, etc., can be handled successfully. But also, of course, where staff employment numbers or the ability to employ staff requires a certainty of funding in the medium term. The second recommendation, Chair, is that the committee recommended that National Treasury develops a transparent, criteria-based framework for allocations outside of the DORA Amendment Bill. And the framework should clearly outline the eligibility, prioritization, and assessment criteria for provinces and municipalities. This, I think, ties a little bit in with what Honourable Brits was saying about understanding or having transparency on the equitable share calculations. However, this one notes specifically things outside of DORA or the DORA Amendment Bill, Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, and it related as well to the Special Appropriations Bill, which we'll, of course, be discussing tomorrow. The last recommendation, Chairperson, the committee recommended that the revision of the white paper on local government be prioritized. I think we're all in agreement on this matter. It really is urgent that we agree a new direction for local government, and of course that direction underpinned by an adequate and comprehensive financial plan as well. Having said that, Chair, the committee supports the principle and detail of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill and has given us a negotiating mandate that says so. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ryder. On behalf of Gauteng, I'll now invite Honorable Majola for a negotiating mandate for KZN.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Greetings to the colleagues. I will be very quick, Madam Chair. My mandate, negotiating mandate report, it's part of the attachment going to the content of it, Madam Chair, as mandated by the mandating procedure of the Provinces Act of 2028. The KZN Finance Portfolio Committee received a briefing from myself and the National Treasury. That was on Friday, on the 5th. Thereafter, Madam Chair, yesterday, the Portfolio Committee discussed further the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, and then they came out with the summary of the recommendation, Madam Chair, in paragraph 4, where they first stating the pattern of voting, which by majority the bill was supported by the majority of the committee. And then the concerns that were raised, Madam Chair, is with regards to the timelines, with regards to the processes. They've indicated that they received this bill on the 4th, and then they were supposed to meet on the 5th. And then, can I be protected, Madam
I'm
Chair?
sorry, I'm so sorry for that, Honorable Majola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, Madam Chair, with regards to the other legislative requirement, in particular Section 1181A of the Constitution, where it requires the public participation, they did, Madam Chair, indicated that there was some deviations there with regards to calling of a formal public hearing meeting. But nevertheless, they did place the bill on their website, calling the public for comment, which according to the indication is that as at the closing date, which was tomorrow, there was no comment on the bill. Therefore, Madam Chair, highlighting that the committee indicated that they support the bill, they are in favor of the bill. They further indicated that if there are no further discussion or deposits on the bill between the period of now and the formal adoption of it, therefore should also be depositing the vote in favor when the final adoption of the bill, which I believe is on the 17th. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Majola. Let me invite Honorable Ndlovu to give us her mandate from the Limpopo province. Honorable Ndlovu. I see you have opened your mic, but there's no sound coming from your side. Honorable Ndlovu, kindly sort your audio out and allow me to invite Honorable Numalo if she's on the platform.
Okay, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. You may proceed.
Okay. No, thanks, Chairperson. Good day to honorable members and all the officials on the platform. Chair, I'm not going to waste time. We have received our mandate as provinces, which is also deposited in our WhatsApp groups and emails as indicated by the Secretary of the Committee. Chair, I want to indicate that in terms of our mandate as Limpopo, the Portfolio Committee considered the bill and hereby indicate that the negotiating mandate that has to be tabled by myself to as permanent delegate must be supported, and the meeting of the provincial Limpopo Portfolio Committee held yesterday, they supported the mandate, and I think all the areas and that has to be deliberated on. It will also be done on the 17th. That will be the date whereby all the deliberation and including the declaration will be endorsed. Thanks very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ndlovu. Let me invite Honorable Ngumalo to give us a negotiating mandate from Mpumalanga.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson, and my greetings to all the members. As in Mpumalanga, it is clear that the Portfolio Committee on Finance have said and they've agreed that we must as well vote in favor of this bill on the day that has been set. So as in Mpumalanga, as a permanent delegate, we follow suit. We are in favor of the bill. We are going to do as the being instructed by the provincial legislature. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ngumalo. May I kindly invite Honorable Siwisa on behalf of the Northern Cape.
No, thank you, Chair. Greetings again to everyone, colleagues. No, Chairperson, I'm standing here on behalf of the Northern Cape as a permanent delegate to give the mandate from the legislature, which approves that the legislature is agreeing with the division of revenue. And then one of the concerns that they've raised is the provincial equitable share formula, which they need for the FFC to relook into it because it does not address the people of the Northern Cape. And then the FFC should re-examine the cost norms approach, ensuring provinces with demonstrated higher service delivery costs receive allocation that reflect the real need. Further, the committee recommended a modeling exercise comparing current allocation with the cost norms model, including the implications of the Northern Cape estimate of 6% equitable share need versus the current 2.2 to 2.3 allocation. Additionally, effects of the climate change render the Northern Cape highly vulnerable to drought. Climate, Chair, can you just hold for a minute? Apologies, Chair. I'm on granny duty. Apologies about that. Additionally, the effects of climate change render the Northern Cape highly vulnerable to drought, climate shocks, and recurring disaster. Yet there is no dedicated climate adaptation or prevention grant for provinces. The committee recommends that the National Treasury explore establishing a dedicated climate resilience and disaster prevention grant specifically targeted towards high-risk provinces. Ensure that provinces are supported to improve access to existing national contingency, emergency, and infrastructure funds with simplified application processes. Ensure that disaster-related conditional grants explicitly include preventative and mitigation spending, not only rehabilitation and recovery. It was observed that the tracking of FFC recommendations is particularly important for the Northern Cape, given a persistent inequality in the PES formula and previous FFC concerns. The committee recommends that National Treasury and FFC jointly develop a public tracking dashboard showing the status of each recommendation. An annual budget and MTBPS documentation should include a section reporting on the implementation of past FFC recommendation with reasons of non of non-implementations, Parliament should strengthen its oversight role by requiring quarterly briefings on FFC recommendation. The committee stressed that planning and budgeting rely on accurate, consistent data from sources such as Stats SA Labour Force Survey, yet information is not always clearly enforced. It thus recommended that the National Treasury ensure all modeling assumptions, particularly those used in equitable share calculations, are published. The committee adoption of the bill, the committee adopted this negotiation mandate duly signed by the chairperson of the committee, which is Honorable A. Kwinana, and the committee recommends to the House that the mandate to the permanent delegate to be participate in deliberation and at the negotiation stage, and the Northern Cape supports the bill. Thank you, Chair. Apologies again, Chair, about the background noise.
Apologies accepted, Honorable Siwisa. Colleagues, honorable members, on behalf of the Northwest votes in favor of the Division of Revenue Amendment Bill, which is Bill 28 of 2025. The permanent delegate from the province briefed the province on Friday. The province then went out for their public participation over the weekend. The committee said today in the morning to deliberate and make a report on behalf of the committee, and have given a negotiating mandate to the permanent delegate, which is myself, and the report notes the addition on the provincial equitable share and the provincial conditional grants, but not taking away the reductions in some of the conditional grants. A detailed report is attached to the negotiating mandate. Therefore, I will not go through the report, but the National Treasury will be engaged at the time where they respond to the reports forwarded to their office. Let me now welcome Honorable Swart on behalf of the Western Cape to give us their negotiating mandate and their recommendations.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and greetings to all of you as my family members. I'm going to go straight to the recommendations, Honorable Chair. The Budget Committee recommends that clarity be sought from the National Treasury regarding the follow-through amounts for the Section 6 Health and Education funding for the 2026 MTF for provinces. Secondly, that the National Treasury reviews the PS formula to increase the weighting of the population growth component as well as the economic growth component. Thirdly, that the National Treasury reviews the calculation of the vertical split of the national budget in order to increase the funding for PS for all provinces and to increase the funding of the local government equitable share for all local government, in particular for the local government portion to reflect a minimum of 10% of the total national budget going forward. This can be done gradually, balancing the need for debt stabilization while ensuring local and provincial governments are able to implement their constitutional mandates in line with increasing service delivery demands as populations grow. Fourthly, that National Treasury phases in conditional grants into the PS for provinces in order to give provinces more flexibility in ensuring they are able to accelerate service delivery. For example, the human settlement grant can be phased into PS. And thirdly, that there is an increase in the implementation of water and sanitation infrastructure grant funding across local government. That Stats SA is adequately funded in order to ensure that data updates to PS and LGES formulas occur at an accelerated rate. And lastly, clarity from the National Treasury on the possible impact of future provincial budgets given the decrease in consumer price index figures, taking into account past and possible future public wage agreements and or negotiations. The Western Cape Budget Committee placed adverts in the Burger, Argus, Bukani, advertised on Facebook and the WCPP website to encourage stakeholders to engage the committee and comment on the Division of Revenue Bill 2025. It is for those reasons, Honourable Chairperson, mentioned above, that the Budget Committee of the Western Cape Provincial Parliament supports the bill. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Swart, and thanks to all the permanent delegates from different provinces for submitting on behalf of their provincial portfolio committees a negotiating mandate on the DORA bill, which is Bill 28 of 2025. I think this brings us to the end of this item. I'm going to request Mr. Nodada kindly take us through the minutes of the previous meeting for consideration by the members. Start with the first one until the last. I think we still have time to can consider all the minutes. And colleagues, Honorable Ryder.
No, Chair, I thought we were in a hurry, but that's fine. Go for it.
No, I see. Don't worry. We still have 30 minutes. Don't worry, Mr. Ryder. Colleagues, can we consider the minutes of the previous meetings? Minutes have been previously forwarded to your good selves. I think you have familiarized yourselves with the contents of the minutes. Ours is to consider them and adopt them. Mr. Nodada.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Proceed, Mr. Nodada.
Oh, yes, Chairperson, I was going to request the approach that you would like me to follow, whether I must table them per date or per minutes, page by page, which approach is going to be proper with respect to the committee?
Just flag them per date, and
Okay,
then
Chairperson.
you are not going to read word by word, maybe the headings of each, or remind members which meeting was it and what is it that we were discussing in that meeting. I trust that they have gone through the minutes.
Okay, thank you so much, Chairperson. Honorable members, the first set of minutes is dated 29th of October 2025. On that day, the committee was briefed by the Parliamentary Budget Office on two issues: assessment of infrastructure conditional grants to municipalities for 2021, 2022 to 2023, 2024 financial year. Secondly, on the capacity building conditional grants to municipalities from 2021, 2022 financial year to 2023, 2024 financial year. This is page 1, honorable members, the attendance register. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8, which is the large page. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Can I get an indication from your good selves, members, if this is a true reflection of what transpired? Honorable Ndlovu.
Thank you, Chair. Move for the adoption of the minutes has been presented, and this shows that it's a true reflection of what transpired. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Ndlovu moves. Honorable Majola.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to second the adoption of the sets of the minutes as a true reflection of what we've discussed. Thank you.
Minutes duly adopted. Thanks, honorable members. Next set of minutes, Mr. Nodada.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, honorable members. The next set of minutes is dated 5th of November 2025. On the day, the committee was briefed by FFC on the Special Appropriation Bill, B 2022 of 2025, and went further to conduct public hearings on the bill. Thank you, Chairperson. This is page 1. Attendance register of members. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9, which is the last page. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Thank you, colleagues. Honorable Sibisa.
I move to adopt the minutes as a true reflection, Chair. Thank you very much.
Honorable Sibisa moves. Honorable
Honorable-
Ndlovu.
Thank you, Chair. I second the adoption. Thank you.
Honorable Ndlovu seconds. The adoption of the minutes is done. The third set, colleagues, for today will only deal with 4 sets of minutes, and then the last 3 will deal with on Thursday. Yes,
Chairperson,
Mr. Nodada.
Thank you, Chair. The third set is dated 14th November 2025. On the day, the committee was briefed by the Honorable Minister of Finance on the 2025 medium-term budget policy statement. We are on page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12, which is the last page. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Honorable Ryder.
Chairperson, thank you. I particularly enjoyed this meeting and would therefore be honored to propose that this accurate set of minutes is adopted by our committee as a true reflection.
I also enjoyed the meeting, Honorable Ryder. Thank you, Honorable Numalo.
I support Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Numalo supports colleagues, and especially the colleagues from the National Treasury and colleagues from provincial portfolio committees on finance. I am sorry for keeping you in the meeting. We are used to dealing with issues that involves all of us, then recuse you for the committee to deal with their issues. Let me take this opportunity to thank all the stakeholders that are with us today for having made a moment to come and spend with the committee. National Treasury will meet with you on Thursday, together with the provincial chairpersons of the portfolio committees on finance in various provinces. As we deal with the last set of minutes, If you would want to vacate the platform, you are more than welcome to do that, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Mr. Nodada, take us through the last set of minutes.
Set of minutes dated 18th November 2025. The committee received a briefing on the MTPPS from the Parliamentary Budget Office and the FFC, Financial and Fiscal Commission. Thank you, Chair. This is page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4. Page 5. Page 6. Page 7. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12, which is the last page. Thank you, Chairperson. Over to you.
Thank you, colleagues. Honorable Siwisa and
No,
Honorable
thank you,
Brits.
Chair. I stand to adopt the minutes as a true reflection. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable
I
Siwisa moves.
adopt.
Honorable Brits.
I second, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Brits seconds. This brings us to the minutes to consider for today's meeting. Another consideration of the remaining minutes will be done on Thursday. But let me remind you, colleagues, that tomorrow at 9 o'clock we have a meeting with the National Treasury and the Department of Health to submissions by external stakeholders and committee concerns on the special appropriation bill. So see you again tomorrow at 9 o'clock virtually. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, colleagues. Good afternoon.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
Chair.
Don't leave the chair.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.